The Sublime Beauty of Salvation. Devotional Thoughts for Women by Marianne M. Grutner. God is a lover of the beautiful, and above all that is outwardly attractive, He loves beauty of character. He would have us cultivate purity and simplicity, the quiet graces of the flowers. Good morning, dear friends. Today, April the 2nd, our devotional is entitled Drops of Blood. Our scripture reading is taken from Luke 22 and verse 44. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. Then his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down on the ground. The day dawned rainy and windy. Soon a rainbow framed the landscape. We crossed the Kidron Valley along the eastern wall of Jerusalem, separating the Temple Mount and the Mount of Olives. This valley, where water once flowed, is now dry. Many Jewish tombs can be seen in it. King David, fleeing from Absalom, crossed the valley on foot. Jesus also crossed this valley a few times when traveling between Jerusalem and Bethany. We arrived at the Mount of Olives, from the Hebrew Har Hazeitim, where the Garden of Gethsemane, Gat Shemanim, is located, which in Hebrew means oil press. Several olive trees covered its slopes in the past. There were many Gethsemane gardens within the immediate surroundings of Jerusalem that were used for pressing olives. But this particular garden became famous for Jesus' agony. Walking silently around those olive trees, I meditated on the moments before the crucifixion of Christ. It was the night of the full moon. Jesus and his disciples slowly walked from Hedron to the Mount of Olives. When they reached the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus remained silent. He had prayed and meditated there many times. With inexpressible sadness, he felt the hour of separation that sin creates between God and man. Could he bear this divine sentence? The disciples had never seen him so distressed. Each step was taken with great effort. He groaned loudly. Twice they held him so he would not fall. Confused and unconverted, they understood nothing. They went to sleep and left him alone. A short distance from the disciples, Jesus prostrated himself on the ground. A hostage of our guilt, under God's watchful eye, he trembled at the thought of not resting or resisting the final confrontation. If he failed to resist, the devil would win. Evil provoked Jesus. Those you came to save will reject you. You will be denied and betrayed. Let it go. Jesus awakened his friends, but they fell asleep again. Although he was in agony, he did not fail them. Returning to the place of anguish, he shed sweat in the form of blood, drops of blood. Nature bathed his body in dew as it were weeping over him. The prophecy was fulfilled. He would be wounded for our transgressions. His punishment would bring us peace and salvation from eternal death. Think of what he went through for you. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. Then his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Luke chapter 22 and verse 44.